Alright, how's it going everyone? It's me Tangociss back at yet with another video, and today we're reviewing Scarlet Nexus. I picked it up a month or so ago, been playing it on and off, so having nearly completed my second playthrough, I figured I'd go on ahead and give the game a review, so yeah, let's go on ahead and hop on right into it, shall we? So as always, we'll start things off with the positives, and the first positive point, as you'll be hearing in the background as we roll through the review footage. The game itself has a pretty good soundtrack. I especially like the Mitsubi's theme as well as the Hideout theme. So I would highly recommend you guys give the soundtrack a look up on YouTube. Real talk, it's got a fantastic soundtrack. So up next is it's got quite a good combat system, as you'll also be seeing. The easiest way I could put it is if you think of a Nier Automata Lite, if that makes sense. Which reminds me, I still have to pick up the newest Nier game, Nier Replicant I think it was. I don't know if I'll review it or not, but if I do, well, I'll let you know or something, but back to review. So yeah, next positive point, as you'll also be seeing, the enemy design is absolutely fantastic, like real talk. They did a fantastic job of the enemy designs. Bonus points for the boss fight designs. The designs were just absolutely brilliant, like real talk, they just... Like down son, just a fantastic job all around with the enemy designs. So our next positive point, the interest in characters, I have to say. So, as you'll progress through the game, right, you'll get the chance to do like character bonding events. Basically it's like a bit of background on your characters, that kind of deal. So I thought the characters were interesting enough that I decided to go through all the different character side stories, that kind of deal, just to get to know them better, kind of see like their background and whatnot. You probably guessed it already, but yes, there was a trophy tied to all of it, so me being the trophy hunter that I am, I also decided to go for it. But yeah, the characters are pretty interesting, and I would definitely encourage you guys to go on ahead and check out like their different backstories and all that. So with the positive points out of the way, let's go ahead and take a look at the negatives. So, the first negative point is that, while the combat is fun, as I mentioned earlier, I felt that the AI teammates could be better. I kinda just felt like they weren't pulling their own weight, despite me giving them the upgrades and the add-ons. I just kinda felt like that they were kind of just there to just draw enemy attacks, that kinda deal. So, just felt like I was doing most of the work with them just being, well, there just drawing enemy attacks, that kind of thing. Next negative point is that the map layout was mostly corridors to big open rooms, with enemies, rinse and repeat. Don't get me wrong, the actual dungeons were pretty cool now design wise, and of course the soundtrack, as I mentioned, pretty much helped with that. I'm just saying that the kind of formula of straight lines, or corridors I mean, to an open room with enemies, it kinda just felt like it got, well, a bit stale after a while, if that makes sense. I know I think it was one map or two which had you search for key cards. I didn't mind that to mix it up a wee bit, but for the most part I was just a bit, well, samey, I guess you could say. I know there was parts where you could like use your different teammates' powers and stuff to like sort out obstacles, that kind of deal, so that was kind of nice as well, but yeah, I just got samey after a while, just with the different, with that kind of, well, bland layout, if that makes sense. As I said, I'm not saying that the dungeons were bland, because the designs were pretty cool, it's just that the layout could have been better, if that makes sense. So I'm just marking this down as a negative point, but personally I thought the designs were alright, it's just that the corridor thing was a bit, well, you've probably gotten the idea already, but that's the only two negative points that I could come across during my playthrough, so with that, let's go ahead and take a look at the neutral areas. So at the start of the game, right, you have the choice between playing as Yuito or Kasane. You have a different story depending on what character you choose to play as. It's not a matter of just playing if you want to decide like being a male or female character, since the story is a bit different for two characters. Just letting you know now. It's definitely a cool setup for folk who want the full story, but for more casual gamers or folk that just lost interest after the first playthrough, I'd reckon that the first playthrough you'd probably be fine. So that being said, as much as I enjoyed the story, it's kind of out there, if that makes sense. It goes from government conspiracies to the moon and to waifus. Yeah, a bit weird I admit, but it's weird in the good way. As I said, I enjoyed the story myself, but I just figured I'd let you guys know just in case it's a bit too out there for you. So the next neutral area is that there's no level scaling, at least by the time of me recording this here video. Basically it just means if you decide to do your New Game Plus, all the enemies, they get their levels reset, like back to level, like low levels for the first chapter, so to speak. So just means that if you finish off your first playthrough at level 60, and then decide to do your New Game Plus, and you decide to carry over your stats and your weapons and your gear and all that, you'll be level 60 and you'll basically be steamrolling everything up to end game. I didn't really mind it, just meant I could like get to the end game faster, but at the same time, but nice if the enemies, like if we even had the option to let them scale with us. There's a trophy you see for maxing out your skills, or your brain map as the game calls it. But to do that you have to get to level 80, and because your enemies don't scale, I think they max out at about 60 or so. Unless you do like your character sub-stories in which they scale with you, but that's about the only instance that I'm aware of. So hopefully they'll release a patch where you can have the option to let them scale with you, just so we can get that done faster. But personally I would have liked the level scaling, just for the added challenge, as well as to get that there trophy wrapped up. So with all that said, time for final thoughts and things. I certainly enjoyed the game, and hopefully I will go for the platinum, assuming they hopefully add the level scaling to it. It also has an anime series, which I heard was pretty good, so hopefully I'll check that out sometime as well. I think it's about 11-12 episodes, I think, out at the minute. I'm not sure if they'll do another season, because I said I still have to watch it. So if you guys check it out, I should probably just also add, there's kind of like a wee side series minigame kind of thing. You basically just go to Misubi's, that's one of the locations in game you see. You watch the Scarlet Nexus anime, and you pick up like a wee code, or a password, whatever you want to say. So basically just write down the password or the code, talk to Misubi, choose the file which corresponds to the episode, type in the password or the code, and you get some in-game stuff. You'll probably find a guide for it online if you don't want to watch the actual anime series, but I just figured I'd bring that up just in case you want to check it out before checking out the game. I think the anime series follows the story. I think it has a few extra side stuff to it. Just not sure yet because I haven't actually checked it out, but maybe I'll do that at some point whenever I get my platinum trophy. But I just figured I'd bring it up here real quick just in case you guys want to go ahead and check it out. But yeah, I do believe that's it for the review for Scarlet Nexus. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I'll leave the gameplay footage going just in case you prefer to see the gameplay rather than the commentary. But yeah, I just want to say big thanks folks for checking out today's video, and I'll catch you next time.
They're pretty, but kind of scary.
Yeah, it's like they're looming up there.